Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Adrian with another release for Avo. We're releasing 2.37 today, and we have quite a few things to talk about. So again, bottom up, we have a few pre-releases before this new release. So let's just get into it. Add the attachment resource as a demo. It's just what it says. It's just a demo resource we added to the dummy app, nothing major. Improvement, apply policy scope on has many search query. Yep, so basically whenever you did search in a has many, the scope that you used in your pended policy wasn't being applied, and now that is applied. Updatable row inputs. Yep, so we pushed an update, I think 2 releases back when we added that row feature. It's this one, which will allow you to add 2 fields on the same line, and it seems that you couldn't update those because we forgot to do that, so now that is fixed as well. Rename clashing controller. Yes, we used attachments controller for our internal attachment thing, and now we just rename it to active record attachment resource, so you can use your own attachment controller on your end. Tab visibility. What is this, Paul? So tab header was wrongly showing buttons to not visible tabs. Let's see what this is. Okay, so basically if you didn't want to, if you had a field, a has many field, which was hidden because of the policy, it would still be visible on the tab selector. So that would throw you into some kind of permanent loop. So that is fixed now. Thank you, Paul. A feature, allow custom destroy methods. So thank you so much, Dave, for helping out with this one. So now what you can do is go inside your own controller or your own Avo controller. Let's say you have like a user's resource, you have your user's controller, and you can change this destroy model actions or a save model action. So you just override this method in that controller, and you can have like custom destroy methods, custom save methods. You can do whatever you want here. You can make sure, you can ensure that everything is disconnected property in the database or whatever you want. You can ping a different service, whatever you want to do. So you have this power now. Thank you, Dave, for your help with this one. Make pull request template refer to avodocs. Yes, thank you, Ian. So our PR, whenever you start a new PR, it has a reference like, did you add, it has this check mark, did you add the documentation for this? And we have a link to that, and it was wrong link. So thank you, Ian, for fixing that. Use resource find record on search instead of direct find. Yep. So this was happening like on users, let's say this one. And now if you were to do a search in where is it? Let's find like here on teams. Now it doesn't show any team right now because there aren't any found for this user, but before it would just crash because this user was using a special find method, so especially like for friendly ID. So now this is fixed. The search will work on nested associations. Allow nil values on grid cover. Just what it says. Whenever you're using a grid cover and you want to, we had this scenario where somebody that didn't have the active storage stored on the actual record, but on a like belongs to record, and it sometimes return nil, and this would crash, and now you can return nil, and it will just show you this nice placeholder. Action visibility on show controls. Yep, so whenever you used custom show controls, like I'm going to show you on fish. So here, if you used a act on equals false in your pended policy, these would still be visible. So now we made these to be, to take into account that policy method. So now if you turn it like act on, you turn it to false, it will not be able to see that in on the show controls. Visible items. Yes, let's see. Visible items don't show up in tabs. Again, this was a has many field where if you use like a visibility option on that field, it will still show up on the tab. So now that is fixed. Paul took a look at that. Location field new view. So this was a bug we introduced whenever you try to use a stored as option in a location field, it wouldn't work on a new view, and now that is fixed. Thank you for that. Belongs to field, target inside tab, inside panel, inside row. Yep. So this was an edge case. Somebody, so yeah, Jean Etienne was using it. Let's see if we can find the recording. Yeah, I can't find it here. But basically what happened was they used the belongs to inside the panel, inside the tab, which actually triggered, the belongs to has a link to that record, and instead of doing a redirect to that link on the whole view, it would only do it in that tab because it's a turbo frame. So now it will just act properly. So it was just an edge case. Authorize show controller actions. Again, this is related to the show controls and authorization. Now that's fixed. Markdown field not appearing on edit. Yep, this was a nasty thing that that markdown plugin that we're using had. It was just rendered empty, and you had to click on it, and now we fixed it, and now it works nice. Added zoom to location fields. Thank you so much, Ian. It's just what it says. Whenever you're using a location field, now we're going to have that plus and minus buttons there to zoom in and out. Trix attachments broken for Google Cloud Platform, and maybe for others as well. Yep, so I just need to thank Paul for this. Paul from Green Hats. He really dug into this. They had this issue where the trix field, they were using Google Cloud Platform for storage, and the trix field wasn't sending, actually not, it wasn't, the attachments weren't working right. So the issue was that this was something in the documentation about active storage. We had to cast off a thing to make it to IO to actually create and upload this blob to Google Cloud Platform. Probably GCP has more special requirements for that. This was working fine for AWS. I didn't test it on GCP, but now it works nice. So thank you so much, Paul, for digging into this, because this was really nasty. Yep, and that's about it for today's release. Like, these are most of the updates. Going forward, we are again shooting for end of the month for Avo 3 beta. You'll be able to see the new website, the new tiers, and everything. You'll be able to purchase a license, and we'll have an upgrade path. This is what we're working on right now, implementing that technically, and you'll be able to upgrade from Avo 2 to Avo 3. Just as a reminder, we have this version 3 version of the docs website, and we have this intro about the closed beta and what's the purpose, so people that are participating in the closed beta know about it. And then we have this upgrade guide. Of course, it's a little bit bigger than we expected it to be, but we made some API changes that we're like very happy about. It's going to make Avo so much easier to work with, so much better. It's split into multiple packages, and yeah, it's just going to be even more awesome to work with, especially the dev fields. Where is it? Dev fields API. So this is one thing that we couldn't have. So we have an automatic upgrade tool, but you have to check out the warnings. It's experimental. It doesn't cover all the required steps, and it might produce some unwanted artifacts. Once you go over this upgrade guide, you'll see what we mean, and you'll see why this is a very difficult tool to make. This is open source, so we would definitely appreciate any updates and PRs for this if we can make this even better. So if you have experience about creating these kinds of things, definitely. But what I want to show you, this is something that I talked to a few of you on our personal calls. So we switched from having the field as a static class on the class as static class method. So basically we had this field ID as ID, field name as text. Now we're moving towards this def fields method, right? And then we are declaring the fields. This is just copy and paste from top. We are declaring the fields here. It's just the same declaration, but it's just better when we wrap it into this def fields method. And this helps us in a few ways. I just want to highlight this a little bit, why we did all of these changes. There are a lot of reasons, but I would just want to highlight this one. So the reason why we did it is because this gives us control to insert whatever we want here. So if we want to make, if you want to break it, let's do user resource. Let's see. Now, if you want to do something like if current user is admin, show these fields, else don't, right? You can do that. Else you can show this field. Now you can do all of that, right? You don't have to use that visibility marker. You can do even more. You can extract these and say admin fields, and you can use these here, def admin fields, and you can use them here. And you can imagine all that composability and what you can do with it, right? We'll even at some point support something like index fields, and then we'll have, show fields, edit, and maybe, new fields as well. So we'll be able to do all of that just because we nested everything inside this def fields method. So this will be unsupported from now on, and this will be supported. And we did the same with filters, with actions, with everything, just because we get more control on like what we can do with them, right? And this is like one of the cases, one of the scenarios, one of the places where we cannot make that upgrade tool, because even this is like a trivial scenario. Okay, we can just find the first like fields and just add the def fields and end, and then just indent it. But people do it in so many freaking ways. You have like 3 fields, and then you can have like maybe an action and a tool and another field. So this is something that you have to do manually. So what you have to do is just indent these and wrap them into a def fields method. And we have a few more things that you need to do as well, but everything is pretty well documented. It's actually very well documented. Like remove the index text align. Why? Because the same behavior can be achieved using the HTML. So we tell you why we did it, and then what are the actions that you have to take, right? So and code snippets on each one. Yeah, definitely we're excited about this. Fingers crossed to finish our last round of updates to Avo 3 and the Avo HQ website, and hopefully it will be up at the end of the month. So this is something very important to me. We have a couple of cool updates for Friendly RB. Again, we have an amazing lineup. I couldn't be more happier about this. So the CFP closes on August 1st. We kind of have most of the lineup. This is something that we're still learning, and we have a few more speakers to announce, but we're going to wait for closing of the CFP. We announced our venue, so it's Apollo 111. It is smack in the city center. So this is Apollo, this is kilometer 0, this is the old town, this is Cala Victoria, which is an amazing old boulevard where you can find a lot of like craft beer places and nice things to do. So this is close by Chishmiju Park. It's amazing. It's just a great place to have. And not only it's in the heart of the city, but it's an amazing space. It's an independent theater. It's very boutique. It's very chic. We just love it. When you're gonna step inside, you're just gonna find it very, very cool. So we're gonna have this large auditorium, this large space where we can have our talks, and it has an adjacent bar where we can hang out and do some friendly stuff as well. Cool. We have a few more tickets. I think about 20, 24 tickets, general tickets, and about 2 or 3 or 4 supporter tickets. I don't know it by heart. So if you want to come join, definitely get your tickets, because they might, sell out pretty soon. But more importantly, in order to make our vision a reality, we need some sponsors. So definitely thank you, Andy Kroll. Thank you, Flagrant, and thank you, Evil Martians, for helping us, putting on this show. We have a very, very affordable community sponsorship. You get all the value out of it. Only 10 spots available. We're in discussions with a few other partners to come and join. So if you are building on Ruby, have a company built on Ruby, have a product built on Ruby, if you just want to support the community, this is definitely the place to do it. I think the community and attendees will definitely, enjoy the support and be thankful for it. So definitely reach out. The venue, we're going to do something between those days. We're going to have a guided tour in Bucharest between like 27 and 28. We're going to have a guided tour with special, licensed guides that will tell us about the history of the city. And then at the end of the event, we will, I haven't announced it yet, but we will definitely do something. I will get the people that want to go for a trip. We're gonna go live on Friday in the morning. We're gonna get on a train, go to the mountainside, visit some castles, get on top of the mountains, and see the beauties that Romania has. Eat some nice local cuisine, and then get back on the train and get back to Bucharest for the evening. So that's something that we'll definitely do. If you want to stick along longer, definitely do it. Romania has a lot of good places and good experiences to offer. So we can then leave together for Rails World next week. So that's definitely something cool to enjoy. So more on that this week. Until then, short Ruby news, the newsletter put up by Lucian. He does an amazing job. If you enjoy it, I don't know when he has the time. If you enjoy short Ruby news, consider supporting the newsletter. It's very affordable. What he does is goes on Twitter, Mastodon, and other sources to compile a list of what the community is talking about. So first, this is something like he's highlighting the conferences and all the events that are happening, and then going around and taking all of those nice, like, cool snippets, cool advice that are so ephemeral on Twitter. They just disappear. You don't get time to see them, and he just makes sense of them. So definitely check it out. Another cool surprise is superrails.com. So Yaro just released this website. I know he posted about it, where he posts the tutorials and video that he does, and he has a few more surprises up his sleeve. So when I do development, I find his tutorials being very in depth and very cool. He really fixes problems. And my other plug that I want to do is friendly.show. So go to friendly show. It's our podcast, mine and Yaro's, where we talk between each other and with guests about cool things that are happening in the dev community, Ruby community, and just product world. So our latest episode is with Jonathan Markwell. He's our friend from which we met in Athens at RailSAS, and again at Brighton Ruby, and we talk about SaaS, software as a service, validating ideas, conferences. Jonathan is an amazing, guy. He's a very great guy, and he knows a lot about these things. So definitely, it's one of our best episodes. We're not in the podcast business. We're very early on. We're not very good at this. So please, bear with us, and definitely, send us your best wishes. Jason Sweat started selling these tickets for Sensitive Ruby. It's the second edition. So the first edition was one of the first conferences where I got FOMO, like fear of missing out, because I wasn't there. It was just so much fun. as I read it on Twitter and I saw the photo. So definitely we're gonna have like amazing speakers: Albie Fernandez, Irina, Tom Rossi, Jeremy Smith is going to be there. Myself and Lucian, which tends to sure to be news, will speak at a conference, and Drew Bragg. So a lot of cool speakers and nice lineup. I'm just gonna have to think what we can do as a fun activity in the Nevada desert. So definitely, I would love to see you there. Tickets are on sale from today to July 21st, so about like a week, 10 days. So definitely, check it out if you wanna meet up in the American continent. So that's for sure. Cool. So that's about it for today. New friendly RB news. Shooting for Avo 3 release at the end of the month. Public beta. It's still not going to be perfect, but still good enough for you to use. We have the upgrade guide. We have everything we need. I just wanted to say thank you for being an awesome community member. I know I say that all the time, but I'm noticing people more and more like reaching out in the Discord chat and helping others, and same on GitHub PRs and GitHub issues. So definitely thank you so much for making Avo something a little bit bigger than just a guy building a tiny gem in his garage, if I can say that. So yeah, definitely thank you so much for being an awesome community member. And yeah, that's about it. See you in the next one. Bye.